Welcome to the Carlisle Local School District Board of Education meeting on Monday, June 23rd, 2025. This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is a time for public participation during the meeting. Roll call.
Mrs. Morris.
Here.
Mrs. McIntosh.
Here.
Mr. Jewell.
Here.
Mrs. Miller.
Here.
Mrs. Milligan.
Here. Let's stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll go ahead and start. I'm going to have, first of all, thank you to all the students and parents who came in on your summer break. It's nice to see such a great big crowd. I'm going to have Mr. Augustine come up, and we're going to recognize our spring SWBL.
Good evening. We've got quite a few awards here, and I've received some confirmation of those that can't make it tonight. I'm glad we do have a good turnout with it being summer. But first of all, I'd like to call out our two SWBL Coaches of the Year, baseball and softball, Coach Hawkins, Coach Reisner. Quite a run, 5 years, league champs for each of them. Great coaching, great effort again. And then for our SWBL award winners, we have for baseball, Brendan Rowe. He was SWBL Player of the Year in first team, obviously. Nate Rust, SWBL first team. Cooper Steckel, SWBL first team. Isaiah Brady, SWBL second team. Cody Zavarga, SWBL second team. And Clayton Jewell, SWBL honorable mention. For tennis, Matthew Harrison was SWBL honorable mention. For softball, Maya Howard, SWBL first team. Emma Laughlin, SWBL first team. Alyssa Shotwell, SWBL first team. Bree Bruns, SWBL second team. Grace Holt, SWBL second team. And unable to make it, Montana Wallace, SWBL honorable mention. Back to baseball, we have Cooper Staffel, SWBL first team. And then track, track does it different. They don't vote for first team, second team. They go based on, or we recognize them based on district qualifications or finalists. So we have Austin Benton, district finalist, discus. We have Ashley Pelfrey, district finalist, 100 meter. And Morgan Shackelford, 200 and 400 meter.
All right, so we are going to get a picture. So those of you in the back, to comments behind the board members, we'll get a picture of everybody. So Mr. Ryan here, kind of help us direct. I want you guys to see. Scoot over just a little bit. Wow. All right, here we go. All right, everyone look here. You guys got it on? Congratulations, Ed. So you are more than welcome to stay for the rest of the board meeting, or you are more than welcome to head out at this time. We will not be offended either way.
We love y'all.
All right, watch it. So we've got that.
Are there any visitor comments this evening? Go
Okay.
I'll always be one.
ahead.
Mr. Shackelford, I just want to say thank you for allowing my voice through the last 2 years. It's been a wonderful experience, and especially Mr. Swindell in spring to raise my daughter for you. She got to run track before, so it was a great experience for her. And thank you for all your sacrifices for your family, and I appreciate the opportunity for the kids to be here. Kenzie's going to go on for basketball in my games, and Maggie's enlisted in the National Guard. She'll go to basic in the fall, and we're going to go to Sinclair instead of psychology. So
Great.
we're hoping that they have her help in some way as an assistant coach possibly or something.
Yes. Great.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Bassler? Mr. Bassler, would you like to do the treasurer's report?
Sure. Treasurer's report, no non-action items this month. We'll just go right on into our action items. The first thing, we need an approval for the minutes of the last regularly scheduled board meeting, which was on May 19th.
First by Mr. Jewell. Second by Ms. Miller. Roll call.
Mr. Jewell?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller? Mrs. Milligan?
Yes.
Mrs. Morris?
Yes.
Mrs. McIntosh?
Yes.
Next, I need approval for the financial report, which is part of your packet. That would be month end, May 31st. We're continuing to work hard to close the books, with fiscal year end June 30th. No real surprises. Anything that's out of the ordinary, we've already talked about with the buses and the TIF agreement and of course the track that's going in. So if there aren't any questions, I just need an approval for the financial report.
Motion to approve?
So moved.
First by Ms. McIntosh. Second by Mr. Jewell. Roll call?
Mrs. McIntosh?
Yes.
Mr. Jewell?
Yes.
Mrs. Morris?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Milligan?
Yes.
Next, talking about closing the books for the fiscal year, need approval for the treasurer to post all the adjustments and close the books for fiscal year end 2024-25.
Motion to approve? So moved. First by Ms. Milligan.
Second.
Second by Ms. Miller. Roll call?
Mrs. Milligan?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Jewell?
Yes.
Mrs. McIntosh?
Yes.
And Mrs. Morris?
Yes.
Next, as part of your packet is the temporary appropriations. So we have to have temporary appropriations in place so we can start spending money beginning July 1st. And then the permanent appropriations will be in the September board meeting. So we can go on temporary for July and August, and then every September we approve the permanent appropriations.
Motion to approve?
So moved.
First by Ms. Milligan.
Second.
Second by Ms. Miller. Roll call?
Mrs. Milligan?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Morris?
Yes.
Mrs. McIntosh?
Yes.
Mr. Jewell?
Yes.
And then next is approve the supplemental appropriations or the year-end appropriations for this year. Again, those are part of your packet. The only major change, and by saying major change, the only significant change would be our 034 account, which is called our classroom facilities account, which is the account that helps with the upkeep of the building. And when we closed out our construction project paperwork earlier in the year, there was some interest dollars left over, and those interest dollars were moved into that 034 account, which means we spent a little bit more out of that account than we had appropriated. Plenty of money in there, it's all good, it just had to increase the appropriation by about $50,000.
Motion to approve?
So.
First by Mr. Jewell.
Second.
Second by Ms. McIntosh. Roll call?
Mr. Jewell?
Yes.
Mrs. McIntosh?
Yes.
Mrs. Morris?
Yes.
Mrs. Milligan?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller? And every year we have on here to award our property liability and fleet insurance. We go with the Southwestern Ohio EPC insurance pool for next school year.
Motion to approve?
So moved.
First by Ms. Milligan. Second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Second. I'll second. Second by Ms. Moore. Roll call?
Mrs. Milligan?
Yes.
Mrs. Morris?
Yes.
Mrs. McIntosh?
Yes.
Mr. Jewell?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller? And then lastly, we have a couple donations. We have a donation from the Orioles of Franklin to the Carlisle Fishing Club, as well as a donation from the Carlisle Say Soccer Organization for our varsity girls soccer program.
Motion to approve?
So moved.
First by Mr. Jewell.
Second.
Second by Ms. McIntosh. Roll call?
Mr. Jewell?
Yes.
Mrs. McIntosh?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Morris?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Thank you very much. That's my report for the month.
Mr. Fisher, would you like to do the superintendent's report?
I do have a few non-action items, some updates and a couple of recognitions. First of all, I wanted to just make the board aware that on May 30th, we did do something new here at Carlisle, which we've not done before, recognizing staff for years of service, teachers, bus drivers, cooks, custodians, etc. We recognized a total of 67 staff members, starting with their first year here to Carlisle, from 5 years to 35 years, so 67 staff total. Of course, we posted that on social media. I do want to take a moment just to recognize our 9 retirees that we had leave us this year. And they are Penny Bear, who gave 33 years of service. Michelle Fitzpatrick with 35. Randy Glover with 32. Tracy Glover with 32. Barb Iser with 30. Phyllis Lilly with 39. Robin Mobley with 29. Laura Tonko with 34. And Dana Townsend with 35. So taking a special moment just to thank those 9 individuals for all that they've done for Carlisle. And many of them actually started their careers here at Carlisle and ended their careers at Carlisle, so huge accomplishment. Update on our track. As we all are well aware, we're at kind of a standstill somewhat right now, only from the sense with nothing else is happening on the track surface until July 7th. The foundation has been laid. Right now, what is going on is stuff that we need to take care of, such as leveling the field to make sure that there aren't any huge gaps between the new track surface and the field. The end zones have been accomplished, and later this week, if you go out there, you'll see along the sides, there's a pretty sizable gap between the field and the track, as well as some height differences, so we need to go out and make sure that that is leveled down and what's the word, not leveled, but so that the water does not necessarily sink greatly. Thank you, I couldn't think of the word off the top of my head. We will see our last bit of work then on the track on July 7th. That actually got pushed back by a week. We had, when they laid the initial blacktop down for the initial surface on the starting lanes, they noticed some inconsistencies with the material, and actually there was a rise to it. So they took care of that. Was before us, without us even having to say anything. So I've been pretty nitpicky heading out there looking at different things. But they actually called and let us know that they're going to come in, completely saw cut that entire area out and replaced it with brand new asphalt. So unfortunately that pushed the entire project back a week, but it also gives us a little bit of time to get everything else taken care of. So the next track action should be on July 7th. In the meantime, besides the greater than the field, we've got a bunch of painting going on out back. We haven't looked. The goal is when we open that up against National Trail for football in late August, that place will sparkle and shine. The fence we put in once the track foundation is laid, they're out there painting buildings at this point, so it should be pretty good. Summer updates, again, been keeping very active with posts on our social media. A lot of painting going on, a lot of cleaning going on. The building is starting to take shape. It's hard to believe that we're almost at the end of June already, and school will be starting. I think I gave a countdown the very last day of school. It's like 80-some days. The last day is, and so we're probably to the 50s by now, I would imagine. So it's going by quick. It's hard to believe how fast it's going, but a lot of great stuff. Our custodial crew is doing a great job. I know I talk to Rodney Milligan every day with painting going on in his group. He either really likes red and gray, or he's really going to hate it by the time it's or stripes. He's going to see stripes in his sleeve. But a lot of great work going on, and I'll actually have another post that I'll be putting out on social media, both on the track updates with some pictures and the building updates, probably within the next week or so, just to keep everybody updated. I will say too, it's been great. Hopefully you've seen them on social media, which is not social media, excuse me, on email, which is not something that we typically have done, but Jimmy Branson has put out, every 2 weeks he puts out an update out to our staff, letting them know what's been done. The list continues to grow, and then Quentin, our new technology director, has also communicated with our staff, letting them know we have in July's board meeting, we'll have some updates about things that are going on with the Wi-Fi and some other things. But both those gentlemen have been very proactive this year in sending out updates, so keeping everybody well informed of what's going on. So that's my update. Any questions on any of that? Okay. Number 2, you'll see in your packet, you'll have our discipline report. As a reminder, we're required each year to submit our discipline report. We do it here at Carlisle every 6 months. I do it at the first semester and second, again, just as a way of being open and transparent. No surprises on our discipline. Numbers were down a little bit in comparison to years. A lot of it is we seem to, of course, at the end of the year, kids are getting squirrelier and ready for the school year to be over. So we do see an uptick of that, but really no surprises on our discipline report. Any questions on that? Okay. Move into action items. Our first one, underneath action items number 1, I need an approval for our timekeepers, scorekeepers, and then approval for our remaining 25-26 duty calendars. And then we also have all of our handbooks. So just a couple real quick things with the duty calendars. you recall back in April, we actually did approve a series of duty calendars, but because of the way transportation goes, as we transport kids to different locations, we did not have all the school calendars at that point, so we finished those off. Plus, even though we've had this position, there was not a calendar for our technology specialists, so we added that. And then letters C through H are all of our staff handbooks and student handbooks. One big difference this year is instead of doing 4 separate building staff handbooks, I combined them all. I wanted everybody to follow the same guidelines and same guidance, so we created one district-wide handbook for all departments. So you'll see that there are a few updates in it that we did add, but we just combined them for one. And then really the only other note with our student handbooks is we did make a couple changes with our code of conduct. The biggest being the change with the cell phone policy and not having cell phones during the school day because of more than likely legislation that's going to be coming out, but we wanted to be proactive with that. So that is letter B, number 1.
Motion to approve. First by Mr. Jewell. Second by Ms. Milligan. Roll call.
Mr. Jewell?
Yes.
Mrs. Milligan?
Yes.
Mrs. Morris?
Yes.
Mrs. McIntosh?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Number 2 is we did have 2 resignations for our elementary school guidance counselor and a 5th grade teacher.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
First by Mrs. McIntosh. Second by Mr. Jewell. Roll call.
Mrs. McIntosh?
Yes.
Mr. Jewell?
Yes.
Mrs. Morris?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
And those are our 2 last teaching assignments that we need to fill out, so we'll have those. We're very close on both of those, but just not close enough to this board meeting. Number 4 is certificated employment for our new elementary music teacher and for our high school business teacher.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
First by Ms. Milligan. Second by Mr. Jewell. Roll call.
Mrs. Milligan?
Yes.
Mr. Jewell? Mrs. Morris?
Yes.
Mrs. McIntosh?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Letter C is another teaching position, but it's pulled out due to a connection with a board member.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
First by Ms. McIntosh.
Second.
Second by Ms. Miller. Roll call.
Mrs. McIntosh?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Milligan?
Yes.
Mrs. Morris?
Yes.
Mr. Jewell?
And just real quick too, I wanted to bring this up as we go through the teaching positions. We do have a much different process that we utilize here at Carlisle than we've probably done in the past. Not only do they go through the interview team process, but they actually have to teach in front of a group of kids in the committee as well, which is not something that we have employed, to my knowledge, in the district. It's a step that I've always used because you can talk great, but I want to see you put in action as well. We've actually done it with our coaches as well, so that is something that is new. So all of these candidates have gone through that process, one way or another. Letter number 5 is classified resignations of 2 staff members, one for quote-unquote retirement purposes, and the other is taking a teaching position.
Motion to approve. First by Mr. Jewell.
Second.
Second by Ms. Milligan. Roll call.
Mr. Jewell?
Yes.
Mrs. Milligan?
Yes.
Mrs. Morris?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. McIntosh?
Yes.
And then number 6 is a whole host of supplemental positions of company or new hires, classified employment, so I'm not necessarily going to go through all of those, but if you have any questions as you go through them, you can ask, feel free to ask.
Motion to approve. First by Mr. Jewell.
Second.
Second by Ms. Miller. Roll call.
Mr. Jewell?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Miller.
Sorry. Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Now, Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Morris?
Yes.
Mrs. McIntosh?
Yes.
Number 7, 2 are a result of our guidance counselor leaving for volleyball, so there was some shift in some volleyball, which is why the resignations are there. And Mr. Spranger was resigning as girls' tennis coach, assistant tennis coach.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
First by Ms. Milligan.
Second.
Second by Ms. Miller. Roll call.
Mrs. Milligan?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Jewell?
Yes.
Mrs. McIntosh?
Yes.
Mrs. Morris?
Yes.
Mr. Basser's not the only one to get ahead of himself. I was ahead of myself. Number 8 is a whole host of supplementals. Again, for fall, most of them fall underneath the fall for different sports. We do have our new varsity girls basketball coach and a varsity boys basketball coach, and some resident educator mentors, and then Mr. Hammond continuing on as our AV coordinator for the school year.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
First by Ms. Milligan,
Second.
second by Ms. McIntosh. Roll call.
Mrs. Milligan,
Yes.
Mrs. McIntosh,
Yes.
Mrs. Morris,
Yes.
Mr. Jewell,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller.
And that is my report.
Molly, do you have anything with the legislation?
Well, they're still squabbling over percentages and things like that with our carryover funds. Also, there's just a couple things that were, one that's recently been introduced, and I think that this is a good thing, that it's in talks that we require food service operations to note certain allergens on menus. I think that will take some guesswork out of it for the food service workers, and the kid can have it, the teachers and the students to know right away what they can and cannot have. Again, they're still squabbling over the carryover funds. I know there's a lot of talk about eliminating inside millage and how that would work, and they're still talking about that as well. You know, school funding is so unpredictable year to year, and this would place the burden locally on all of us. And I know that we want to keep as much of our money as we can, and so this is something to definitely keep our eye on of how this is going to progress through the legislation. That's all I have.
Kelly?
Yeah, my Green Valley CTC, June 10th was a regular board meeting. They do have their annual retreat scheduled for this Saturday.
Is there any old business we can discuss? Any new business?
Just a reminder, I guess for me, instead of Mr. Fisher, we did put on your desk the evaluations for superintendent and treasurer for next board meeting. So the plan would be the July board meeting, do executive sessions, and actually do both, not at the same time. Do the treasurer first, so he can go on, and then the superintendent's evaluation after that one. As you brought up a new business, you get more hands. So you have blank copies there. If you misplace them between now and then, I can send them over email, drop them off, whatever you need. But just want to make sure you have them in your hands before next meeting.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
First by Ms. Milligan, second by Ms. McIntosh. Roll call?
Mrs. Milligan,
Yes.
Mrs. McIntosh,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Jewell, Mrs. Morris.
Yes.
Time is 6:28.